Okay, Jay, this is what we have been waiting for. And a showstopper is exactly that. It's a keys piece that we brought in brand new that just offers a little bit of everything. And that's what this Art Deco watch is about. It was supposed to be $59.95, but we have it at $10 savings as our showstopper. And we're also featuring it with 2 flex pays, which is outstanding. That flex pay will expire tonight at midnight. So basically, it's $25 to get this home with your unconditional guarantee. Also comes with a 1-year warranty as well. So just check with your representatives. Comes beautifully, beautifully gift package. Talk about a lost art that you just don't see anymore in vintage pieces. And we talk about that with all the jewelry, but especially in timepieces.
And this is something that has several things that are just totally unique about it. First of all, we wanted to do a strap watch, okay? But we didn't want to just put a strap against a center case. We wanted something a little more interesting than that. So what we did was we designed a center motif that has an arc to it, that has a curve to it, so that it forms beautifully on the wrist. Then we hinged it. We hinged it and hid the place where the black strap comes in. And therefore, one of the neat features about this is it will be absolutely comfortable on your hand, and it's very subtle in the way it sweeps from the center all the way around the back. Another feature that I really, really appreciate, and I think you'll appreciate too, if you look at the dial, there are only dots at the 3, 6, 9, and 12. You're not going to have to struggle to see numbers. You're going to be able to see quite clearly, because it has black hands, what time it is. It's not going to be difficult at all. It's very functional that way. And then, I mean, all of the deco styling, the great baguettes in it, the beautiful squares, chevrons all around it, and then the coup de grace is finishing it with a buckle that really is very much deco inspired. It's like the fountains, the buildings, the many different things that you see from the work, right before the war, when people were in the work, whatever the program was, and they were building the Hoover Dam or building the Chrysler Building. These are the kinds of influences that this is taken from.
With the angles and all of that that we love in the Art Deco period, but softened and so feminized and so incredibly comfortable. And when you look at this, there's such a design element to not just the face of the watch, but really the whole, almost the entire top portion. That looks like a bracelet. You know, until you turn it around. It really is, but it's also a functioning timepiece. The other nice thing is, too, is the fact that it's a leather adjustable band that if it is going to be as a gift, you know, we were saying this earlier, we had some fabulous timepieces on, and, you know, I said one of the best gifts to give and receive is a watch, and especially if you have a big occasion that's coming up, maybe a special birthday, or there's a big graduation that's coming up, or Mother's Day, because every time you get a compliment, or every time you look down at your wrist or your hand, you think about the person that gave that to you.
Absolutely.
And the compliments that you get. And you think, oh, my daughter gave me this, or oh, my husband gave me this for our anniversary. A watch really depicts that. And there are so many wonderful designs in timepieces. And going back to what we've been pretty much talking about throughout the entire show so far, you just don't find pieces like this anymore. You really don't. And it's one thing in bracelets and rings and pendants and earrings, but absolutely so true in their timepieces. And I said this, it's not very often that we do timepieces in the Xavier line, but when we do, they are always a huge, huge customer pick. And guess what? This one is going to be no exception.
I mean, the way we approach is a little different than the norm, where, you know, a lot of people want watches that are sport watches, that have, that can tell, that have different functions, that can be chronographed. Our main interest is to recreate the styling of the time period when these things were first brought into the world, and that's what we've done here. This is very deco, and it really it's not so ornate that you can't wear it every day, but it's ornate enough that you understand the design function of where it has come from. It really is something that you have to master that kind of artwork and bring it together to make pieces like this. And we've been very successful doing it because you seem to really love it.
Now, Franz Xavier, was he known to do watches? Or?
He did watches. Watches were not as overwhelming a product form, because at the time the only movements you had were mechanical movements.
Okay,
and so you had a thickness. But in our archive, we've got drawings of thousands of watches that now we can take those designs and actually make them, or make things that look like that.
Okay, got it.
Right.
Yeah, and that's like, you can definitely see that with where at the top here almost looks like invisible setting that you have on both of the arrows, all the way around the bezel of the face of the watch, all individually hand set. That easy to see timepiece, the second hand, the fact that it's quartz timing, it's stainless in the back, so you don't have to worry about sensitivities. The other nice thing is that it's a leather adjustable band. So if you do have high sensitivity to different metals, you don't have to worry about this. You know, that's the great thing about having the leather and the adjustability, and even down to the buckle. I mean, true Art Deco influence with the look of hand-set crystals. So it's always, and this is definitely indicative to Franz Xavier, 360 degrees, side, front, back, top angle.
Right.
You're getting that meticulous attention to detail.
If you didn't do it that way, you would be beaten. You think I'm kidding, right?
Really? Or was he very strict? Yeah. Well, a genius, obviously.
You know, he expected you to work hard.
Right, right.
If you weren't going to work hard, you had no business being there.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Well, to be able to translate these pieces, and it's his name, right? I mean, that's the reputation.
Right.
So each of these will be stamped Xavier, so you know you have something really, really special. Our timepiece, it's the only one we have in our segment here today. There may be a couple on hsn.com. I know they're customer picks.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. So it's always a treat, and to be able to wear it back, like we said.
But
this can be your everyday piece.
If you want to find it on a website, you're not going to go to Xavier. You're going to go to FX by Xavier.
Okay.
Which is a whole different page. It's our watches, and there may be a link on our regular page to that. But we're marketing them as FX by Franz Xavier.
And this exact watch will be $59.95. So it's a this visit only, $10 off. 2 flex pays, actually, I was saying goes away at midnight, goes away at 6 o'clock. So in about 40 minutes from right now, it'll be $59.95, but we will, or excuse me, it'll be $49.95, but we will not have the opportunity for you to get this home for $25. And we have just about 30 seconds remaining. Hundreds have now been selected, and it's the perfect way to complete your entire Franz Xavier collection. You don't want to have this gorgeous bracelet and matching, all the rings and everything else.